We're here for chest, triceps, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of core work. So we got a nice little kickoff to the week, focusing on big muscle group, small muscle group. We'll need a variety of weights to support this workout today. So I have 30s, I have 20s, I got a set of 15s. You might want something smaller than 15s if you, if you need something light for skull crushers, overhead tricep extensions, tricep kickbacks. So some of these you can get away with one heavier dumbbell or moderate dumbbell. Others you might need something lighter. I might even grab some 8s just in case. We've got a 3-minute AMRAP to finish things off. You will need a resistance band, or if you're at the gym, you'll want a cable. I would go mid-level to low, just depending on what you have access to, with a single handle. Okay, so I'm using a long loop band. It's pretty heavy resistance, but it's gonna work just fine today. So we've got some hip turns, we've got some jack presses in the AMRAP finisher, we've got a standing march, we've got skull crushers, single leg kickbacks, we've got chest fly, chest press, push-up variations. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna warm up super quick. Just really gonna do some inchworms. First we'll do some big arm circles, just to get those shoulders nice and loose, get into some mobility work, bring it back. Big hugs. Now, if you need a bench for your chest press, or if you want a bench press progression, feel free to set that up, because we're going to kick off our first superset with chest presses or bench press. All right, so come to the top of that mat, reach it up nice and tall. We're just going to inchworm it down. Little shoulder tap, and walk it back in. With that shoulder tap, you just want to try to keep that body nice and still. Got last one. Stay right here. Actually, drop to those knees and bring it over to your side body. So like a modified side plank. And we're just going to work a single arm, little push-up extension. Lower down nice and easy. Just waking up the chest and the tris. All right, let's flip it over. Same thing other side. Woo, good. 30 seconds to stretch out. Anything else you might want to stretch out or set up your chest press, bench press situation. We've got 8 to 10 reps, 3 sets, overhead extensions in between. All right, so I'm gonna kick things off with, I'm just gonna go 30s. I'm gonna take it to 30s every single round. Remember, we want a 3-3 or a 3-2 tempo to get the right amount of time under tension. All right, so we're not speed repping. That's the last thing you want to do. Go ahead and come down into your position. Try to drive those shoulder blades back into your mat or your bench. All right, so shoulder blades are back. Kind of arch that low back and press those heels into your mat. Nice and easy down. Good. Nice and easy lowering down. Place on either side. Don't let the weight of that weight take you to either side. All right, so we've got overhead extensions. I'm going to take one 15-pound dumbbell. And as always, we're focusing on ways that we can train very, very close to failure, all right? Good, I like a kneeling move. That's gonna keep the core nice and engaged. Good. Overhead extensions, we're going with an 8 to 12 rep range. Again, chest pressing with a bench or a bench press, that's going to be a progression, but there's nothing wrong with floor presses, especially if you don't have a spotter and you're exploring heavier weight options. So if you're jumping from, let's say, 30s to 35s or 40s, I'm obviously going to start from the floor unless I have a bench spotter. So keep that in mind. Also, nothing wrong with just using your regular weight that you typically use and going from the floor, because sometimes training till failure doesn't necessarily look the same week to week. You know, different weeks depending on how you slept, how you ate. If you did or did not recover well, then you may need to stay with a weight that is challenging before jumping the gun. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it back. 8 to 12. Now, if you feel you're leaving too many reps in the tank, when you get to 10, you can bump up to 12, but I don't want you going beyond 12. Oh, good stuff. And remember, we still have push-up variations coming. We've got a moving push-up. That should be it for our push-ups. But if you are not ready for a progression, then just stick to your basic push-up or whatever way you prefer to modify. And you know my modification style. Get off of the knees. Not even an option in here. So good. 30 seconds to a minute and a half. Every single time I do a chest tri combo, on paper, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fine. And then it gets down to it and my whole body's shaking. This is our last set of this superset. And again, we'll go into that moving push-up. Basically, if you're not there yet, just work on your lowering, work on your push only in that second round, and then third round, you're gonna string a few together. If you can only get 2, 3, 4, whatever you can do, I'd rather you fail at your most challenging progression in a smaller rep range than just continue to modify. That's like, you know, modifications are great, but at a certain point, you've got to like cut the cord, rip the Band-Aid off, and go for it. Otherwise, you're never going to know when you're ready to progress. So I know I sound like a mommy, but sometimes you just need to cut the cord. And I always say, I will show you how to do push-ups. I'm not going to do your push-ups for you. That's on you. Damn, tricep extensions are so freaking hard, man. We're gonna slide these weights out of the way, and then I'm gonna demo the second move of this superset. Is gonna be a hip turn, and we're gonna put probably about 95% of the effort here into one side, okay? So what we're gonna do is take a hard hip turn. You're gonna drive up and diagonal, okay? So this is quick and explosive. Really take your time and lower with control back to your starting point. What I don't want you to do is pull this thing without that hip drive, okay? So without the hip core oblique work, boom, this move is gonna be very, very challenging depending on your resistance level and how much weight you're loading on that cable, okay? So we're gonna go the full 8 to 10 reps on one side. We're gonna alternate sides for round 2, and then we're gonna split the difference for round 3. So we'll go 5 and 5. Kicking it off with moving push-ups. So basically, start push-up position. All right. So we're gonna take one, like small, minor step over, and then you're gonna come back into like a typical. Like I don't want you going too wide with the hands in your push-up. Okay. So we're gonna go boom, one over, down, push. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so total, we've got 8 to 10, and then we go into our oblique work. Here we go. Good stuff. All right, 8 to 10. Good stuff. Now, quick little alternate if you need one. If you don't have a resistance band at home, your other option is to, depending on where you work out, take your sandball or med ball and do an explosive wall ball throw. So I'm not going to do that to my walls, and I have a resistance band, but that is an option for you. So you want to take that thing, and you can do this with a Swiss ball too, depending on how heavy that is for you. Take it, boom, hard hip turn. You see that pivot in that back foot. You must have that, okay? That's going to give you a very explosive hip turn. Boom. You can alternate, boom, alternate every time, or go fully on one side, fully on the other, split the difference. So this next round, my back is going to be turned to you. You'll still be able to see what I'm doing though. Oh, I don't know why these push-ups feel extra hard today, but they do. You're gonna have days like this. You'll have weeks like this. Oh, woo. Good. Remember, 95% of that force and that effort is coming from one side, but you have the support from your other hand, and you're kind of like along for the ride, sort of like the single arm push-ups that we did in the warm-up. Like your one side is there to support, it's along for the ride, same way you would with like a kickstand, RDL, or unilateral leg work. So, last set, best set. Superset number 3 is actually single arm tricep kickback. You have the option to go standing, kneeling, or sort of like a bird dog position. And that's the progression there. Standing, kneeling, bird dogs. So like one leg back, other side is kicking back, and you're working to balance the whole time. All right, so last set of 10. here, so I'm going to go 5 one way and 5 the other way. Get explosive with it. Oh, this one get me every time. Whew. Deceptively challenging, that move. Very, very much so. All right, so let's see how this goes with a 15. 8 to 12, I'll probably be failing at 8, which is fine. Let's see, bird dog. When I said I was failing at 8, I was not lying. Single arm, you can continue to work through without much recovery. One side gets that automatic rest. So if you need extra, take that time. If not, keep flowing, keep going. Awesome shit. All right, I need a quick breather. Last set. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best type of core work is like deep core work. All right, so crunches and all that, you know, that's really great. At the end of the day, you need to be doing more functional movements to really develop that core. So I'm talking like your compound lifts, all of your stabilization work. So this like single arm, single leg, bird dog shit, boom. This is difficult right here. It would help if I went the right, combo, but there's still a lot of stabilization work here. All right, switch it up. 2 more. Neutral neck, neutral spine. Good stuff. All right. So here we go. We've got some kneeling, what the heck do I even call these? Halos? Yeah, halos. Okay. We've got a standing march, and then we come back in a lying position for skull crushers. 3 minutes, 12 reps per movement. So here we go. That means we're going to go 6 halos clockwise and 6 counterclockwise. So we'll change direction halfway through. Last 3 minutes of work. Let's make it count. All right. So sort of take your dumbbell straight up, turn it, boom, 1. Other direction. And the goal is to not sway the body. Your stabilization work should be lit up. Good. Standing march. Woo. All right, good. Let's bring it down. Lying down. Press it up. Halfway there. And 12. Ooh, tricep work feels so much harder for some reason today than normal. But again, you're gonna have days like that. Might even have weeks like that. Switch directions. We're in minute 3 of 3. All right, let's go standing march. Slay the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.